Hello, everyone. Welcome to the People's Bureau. Today, we're going to talk about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the right-wing political commentator that happened yesterday. As of recording this video, there is no suspect in custody, so we have no idea of any political motives or any motives behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So I'm not going to speculate on any of that. What I really wanted to talk today about is political violence and kind of the narratives that I've been hearing about the assassination. You have people talking about video games, social media. You have right-wing commentators talking about the extreme left and kind of this escalation in violence from the extreme left. You have the assassination attempt of Donald Trump, and now you have the assassination of Charlie Kirk, completely disregarding the fact that a Democratic politician was killed in Minnesota and another was shot. And so what I want to talk about is two things that we need to hold in our heads at the same time. First is we need to understand that political violence is never the answer. Okay, as a society, we are progressing or hopefully progressing towards a reality without political violence. That's kind of the point of a democracy, is to vote and debate the ideas of politics rather than this kind of might makes right, where I can impose my political will on you through violence. So holding on to that idea and the idea that political violence is kind of a symptom of a us versus them or a political reality of the enemy, the left, you're gonna see a lot of stuff about how Charlie Kirk might have deserved this, or that Charlie Kirk was, he said that there's a certain amount of gun deaths that we should accept for to have the Second Amendment, and a lot of left wing people are kind of saying that this is his comeuppance, but he has a family, he had children, and this is just senseless violence. And there's no place for this in a modern society. And we have to understand that. And we also have to understand the political context of political violence. The reality that political violence is an unfortunate norm in human history and even in American history. I mean, there's been many politicians who have been killed, assassinated, or shot. Donald Trump, RFK, JFK, Roosevelt, Reagan. The list goes on. Political figures. Now you have social figures, MLK, etc. This is an unfortunate norm, or maybe not a norm, but a normal occurrence in the scope of history. And you have to have both of those things in your head at the same time. And you have to realize that just because this is normal, or this is something that humans have dealt with for literally their entire civilization as a whole has dealt with political violence, that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't normalize. It doesn't justify this act of political violence. But having that historical context really helps you kind of negate these narratives that are coming out of the right about how this is a uniquely dangerous time, that the political temperature has risen to a point where these acts of violence are happening. It's like they've always happened. These acts of violence have always been there. Yes, we're in a heightened period. Yes, we have a president who is pushing the envelope, the political envelope. Yes, we have a kind of a global democratic backsliding. These things are happening. But I think it's important to understand the historical aspect of political violence before we start saying that right now is a uniquely dangerous time, or this specific incident was uniquely dangerous. You're going to see a lot of stuff that's going to come out of the administration because Charlie Kirk was such a prolific right-wing commentator. Turning Point USA was a very large organization, and obviously there's a lot of grief that's going to come from this. And my heart goes out to his family in this tragic time. Again, I don't want to normalize or say that this kind of political violence is normal, but the unfortunate aspect is that this kind of political violence happens in societies, and we need to come together, help the victims, talk about the realities that political violence doesn't solve issues. There's going to be a whole series of perverse and unintended consequences that come from this. Who knows what will come of this in the future? I kind of just wanted to mention these two things. Understanding that political violence is never a solution to your political problems, and also that political violence is an unfortunate human condition. And so just be wary of people saying that this is a uniquely dangerous time or that the left is uniquely dangerous, and understand that historical context, condemn political violence, and support the victims. And I just wanted to give my point of view on what's important to understand from this event. And so that's it for now, guys. Bye.